Hey guys, welcome to You Choose Tuesday, just as a plane flies over my house and makes heaps of noise. You Choose Tuesday is a weekly live nail art tutorial that we do through Monaco Nail Academy here in Auckland, where you guys get to vote on what you want to see taught live on Tuesday night. And so this is the design that won, I guess, today, although like about 7 bazillion of you guys put in the comments that you wanted both. But that's just greedy, guys. You get one. For those of you who haven't tuned in a while, my nails are naked because I am doing nail rehab over on my main nails page. But either way, this is the design that won. I had so much fun trying to figure out how to do this, and I absolutely love it. Love, love, love. Facebook Live doesn't like to focus close up, but it is freaking amazing. I'll show photos and stuff as well later. So I'll get stuck into how I did it. There are a few steps, but they're really fun. I don't know, I had a lot of fun doing this. So I have already prepped this one here, and I know you can't tell because I'm using a white wheel, but I've used a base of Color Gloss in Precious, which I think is an extremely underrated color. There's a few of them like this. What's it called? Starts with a C, can't think of it. Committed. Committed is a really amazing color, similar to Precious. Precious is the peach version of Committed, which is a more like whitey color. Basically, they are the perfect colorless color. You know, when you have clients that want a colorless color, these two, with Precious being the peachy version and Committed being, I guess, less peachy, they make your nails look like perfection. So I think they're seriously underrated. They definitely, they make your nails look perfect, but still natural. It's like putting foundation on your face. Your face looks amazing, but you still look like yourself. So highly recommend Precious and Committed as amazing colors to add to your collection. And the reason I've done it is if you have a look at the original picture that we are replicating today, that definitely has like some sort of milky base underneath, something like it's got a base underneath, and you can see it quite easily in the picture. So I would have done 2 coats of Precious on a regular client. I've done 1 coat here just for ease. And then we get to play with the colors. So in this, I've got all the lids off already, but I used Royalty mostly. I've also got Intriguing, and I'm using Bride as well, which is, I got it a bit messy before, but the opaque white. And so I played around a little bit with how to do this the best way, and it's actually really interesting. So for those of you that have watched my tutorials before, you'll know that I'm a big fan of mixing different mediums, and the way that I do water marbling is, or not water marbling, that's the point, is to use monomer with my gel polish. So what I would normally do if I was doing marbling, and it's not the same, but just for example, is you put down blobs of gel polish and then you put your brush into monomer, and without it being too wet, you kind of bleed it out and make it go like veiny, and you stretch it out. This is the world's quickest water marbling tutorial. However, what I found worked with this, because you don't want that stark edge on this, is I actually dipped my brush into monomer, drained off a little bit of it, and then kind of mixed on the palette. And then with that watered down gel polish, that's how I applied my blocks of color. And so I did quite a bit with, this is Royalty, by the way. So the Intriguing is darker in origin, but it's more purpley. It's actually the pinky tones that you see in there came from Intriguing, even though it's darker. So I used a lot of Royalty, and you get to play around with shades anyway, because the thicker you put it on, the darker it is, and you can blend it out a bit. You don't want any stark lines, like I said before. And then I do need to cure that, so I'm sorry guys, you're gonna have to bear with me while we wait 30 seconds. Now with that first one, to get the depth of the background on the example I've already done, I probably did like 6 layers, honestly. I think you can flash cure them, and in fact we're going to find out right now if you can, but I was not. Yeah, that's splash cured enough to go straight on top, so you don't have to wait 30 seconds in between each layer. That was 12, so yeah. So I'm going to dip back into the monomer and then back into watering down my gel polish, and then using that watered down gel polish to add more layers, trying to stay away from the veiny look of marble that we've all played around with a lot. And one thing I also discovered, which I'm undecided about whether it will show up on camera, but what I discovered while that cures was that taking the tiniest bit of the opaque white, which is called Bride, and mixing that in, not to change the color, but it changes the opacity slightly. Like, you actually want it to stay really dark, but a tiny bit of Bride in there actually kind of changed it a bit. And I'm not sure, I'm not convinced that this will show up on camera, but maybe it'll show up in the photos that I put up later. So just want a little bit of monomer into my slightly customized color, and it just gives like a, I don't know, it's almost like it's opaque even though we know that it's super see-through. And then to get extra tones, which I always recommend to students that you don't ever have just one color, I've got Intriguing, the other color, which starts out darker, but it's all lies. Get a little bit of monomer, dab off the excess, water it down, or whatever you want to. Guess it's not watering it down because it's not water. But water that down, and then come into any gaps and do the same thing. And it wouldn't really be that difficult with a client because you can be flash curing each side. Like, you can be doing two hands at once kind of thing. I kind of like this vein here. I know I said not to do veins, but I really like it, so I'm just gonna break my own rules and leave it there. So I've got a little bit of pinky tones in there now. Oh, I love this so much. Okay, I'm gonna cure, sorry for knocking the camera, I'm gonna cure that for another 10 seconds. I did do a couple of extra layers with the other one. I was just playing around with like depth and color and having a good time. So, but I don't want to make you guys, sorry, that was just me cleaning the table. I don't want to make you guys wait. So what I did next with this is I took my glossing gel, and I need to do a layer over my work before we add the foil, because the foil is going to stick to an inhibition layer, and if we just put it over this, it'll stick to bloody well everything. So that's just a quick layer of glossing gel. That does have to cure for 30 seconds, so you guys hopefully will be patient and just wait for that. And then I'll put that away. In a second, we are going to clean it off with some Artistic Nails Surface Cleanser. My bottle's a little bit beaten up, so I'm just putting some, onto the gauze wipe. And we've got 9 seconds to go, guys. You're doing well. Numbers haven't dropped. I know it's tedious waiting. That's the problem with doing live, but I really love doing live tutorials. Okay, so we're going to take off the inhibition layer, and then I'm going to get an effect buffer, which is our 180 grit buffer. And honestly, like, when you take the shine off stuff, you do not have to be careful. The glossing gel or your gel top coat is protecting it fine. Clean off any dust. And then before we can foil like this, we need a color, or we need something to foil into. So what I'm going to use is Artistic Color Gloss Temptation, and that's purely because it is the thickest, darkest color that I have. Empowered, if you have Color Gloss Empowered, works really well too, but mine ran out the other day. So I'm going to use Temptation, which I know works well. Basically, you're trying to get the reason you want a dark pigmented polish is because pigment ruins everything. And hi Tony and Mariah. Pigment ruins everything, and really, like, stops it from curing as much. So darker colors tend to be slightly stickier. You wouldn't notice, but they are when you finish. And so because that darker color is going to be slightly stickier, it means it's better for foiling. So now I'm going to use my orange brush. The one I was using before was a purple brush, which we have in stock now. Now I'm using my orange brush, and I'm going to kind of follow the veins with this color. It's actually really important with this design that you are a bit wobbly. You want it to be imprecise and not perfect. You want it to be just a little bit shaky, like so. So that needs to cure another 30 seconds, so bear with me. And when that comes out, we are going to press foil into it. So on the first one, I used a rose gold foil from Nail Perfect. There is a fly buzzing around me. Summer is annoying me. So I'm using rose gold from Nail Perfect. I have a piece that I used earlier that I'm going to try and reuse. And before we press that into the nail, we need it to cool down. That's one of the key things with foiling, is that you really need that gel polish to cool down. You don't think it's hot, but it is. It's too hot for the foil. The curing process makes it really hot, but at a level that your nail protects you from that heat. You don't actually feel it. So normally I give a little bit of a shake. I'm going to do it off camera so I can do it properly. Give it a little bit of shake just to get it to cool down. If this is on a client, then I have the time that I'm waiting for the other hand, so I don't have to wait for it to cool down so much. And then I'm going to support this with my pinky because it is on a wheel. Take this foil, the color side up, press it straight in, and pull straight up. It's kind of like waxing. It's like a really hard press. You can see the pressure in my thumb, and then pulling up. And then we can top coat that, which I'm going to use a tack-free top coat. What do they call them? Like a non-cleanse top coat to go over this because I'm lazy. And then I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. And then we have the finished design. So a couple of steps in there, but because the steps are all quick and easy, you could really easily do this on all 10 nails. Thanks, Lorraine. So yeah, I will put some photos up later so that you can see this. I'm going to take some photos outside in natural light, but this is so easy and so much fun, and you can definitely do this on all 10 nails for a client really easily. And I would probably be charging around $45 for a full set, or 15 to 20 for 2 nails, like for feature nails. So, but it's so fun. So let me know if you have any comments down below. I will do my best to answer them later on this evening. And if you do want to know more about these, we have courses running all the time at monaco.ac.nz. Bye guys.